Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Into the Indies. Today we are reviewing the 7 Days to Die. This game is like a post-apocalyptic survival zombie game, open world sandbox, all that goodness, and basically the world is built mostly out of blocks that have been deformed using like a physics engine of some kind.
Yep.
It actually looks pretty good, whilst still retaining some of the Minecraft qualities, like being able to build with blocks and such. Well, we'll get into that later.
Yep.
So to start off, it's rated gameplay an 8. That is because gameplay is fun to play. It's really not that boring. You're not doing a ton of grinding because even when you're repeatedly searching houses, you're still fighting zombies and it's fun.
Yep.
But you know, there's some things that definitely could be added to this game that would make it a much better game, such as maybe a storyline.
Right.
And they originally tried to put a storyline into the game, but that got taken out after like alpha or beta 1 or something, and yeah.
So yeah, like you said, story. We rated this a 1. There isn't really a story. I mean, obviously, with if you played the original, you kind of know what's going on. With when they only had one map, there was nuclear radiation around the map zone, so you know that there was some type of nuclear problem, and basically it created zombies. Then you have to survive the apocalypse. Now with the newer version, there's random gen worlds, so that kind of takes that aspect away, and you're thrown into a game where you simply have to survive, then hopefully thrive and kill off as many zombies as you can. The immersive qualities are very high. We rated this a 7. The graphics kind of remove you from the immersiveness because it isn't, you know, modded Skyrim, Far Cry 4, something like that, but at the same time, it's good enough to where you can be immersed into it, and the gameplay is really fun and good.
Satisfaction, I rated this a 3, not because this game is boring or anything, it's just kind of sometimes will piss you off, and I'm biased, and I rated it a 3.
It's one of those games where you're gonna die. Just accept it.
Crafting, I rated it an 8. It has an immersive crafting system, so to speak. Essentially, you collect things in the world, and basically, based on what you have in your inventory, you can craft different items. All the way up from bows to like forges and guns. And they have durabilities on different items, quality of items, so you can have like a poor shotgun versus
a really nice one.
Yeah, like
it's poor versus flawless.
Yeah, flawless.
My thing with the crafting is that it is the most realistic crafting of any of the games that I've played because there's actually a crafting timer. Building, we're giving a 9 because the items have physics. Now, this is really cool because when you're placing the blocks and stuff like that, they will fall if they're not supported. It's a Minecrafty building where it is using blocks and some other specialty items, but the fact that they are controlled by physics gives it a little bit more points than Minecraft would. I really like it because you also have freedom to craft kind of whatever you want, unlike Savage Lands where you're given specific buildings.
Graphics are pretty good, but they're not amazing. Unless you play on ultra high quality settings, and then they're like better than what I rated them. I rated them 6. That's for like medium graphics. High quality, like the ultra quality graphics, I'd rate more like a 7 or an 8. Audio's pretty good. There's like a rattlesnakey sound that happens like every 3 seconds.
But it is nice.
Pisses me off.
It is nice that you can hear the zombies, and they when they're hitting stuff, you hear that. So it's realistic. Difficulty. Very wide range. In the main menu when you're creating your game, it's not like you can just choose like normal, hard, easy, super hard like settings. It's not like that. Like you can go in and change certain aspects. You can change how many zombies there are, how fast they spawn, how long they'll chase you, how much damage they do, stuff like that. And that makes it really good because if you want to go and play this game just to build, then you can set the difficulty really low and just kind of build and kill zombies when it happens and you're fine. Or if you want to play this just to survive, then you can set them really hard and have a really difficult time surviving, and that makes this game really fun. So we didn't give it one specific rating just because, you know, it's all over the place, but for range of rating, I would definitely give it a 10.
I'll just add quick to that. You can also edit things like when zombies are allowed to sprint, whether they do it all the time, only at night, or never. And you can also edit the length of the day and night cycle and the percentage of the 24-hour period that is in nighttime.
Yes.
Which is, I think, really cool. Multiplayer options, So this is kind of like the more techie thing. I rated it a 5 because they use NAT punch through for like LAN, so to speak, and then everything else is server based, and you have to have like a specific client to run a server, which isn't a big deal. But the problem is, their multiplayer options and things have some problems. For example, if you're doing a LAN party, the host has to render a lot of the guest players' graphics, but that doesn't even matter to the host, but he still has to render them. So unless you're like right next to each other, if you can't see your buddy, he's rendering different chunks than you, and it actually causes you to lag a lot. So he can be playing at like 120 frames a second on this game, and I'm hosting and I get like 30 best. And I have a beastie computer. So it's like, if you're not running like an external, like a different computer as a server, or you're not on a different server and you're playing LAN, it's going to wreck your computer. As long as you have a fairly decent internet connection, you won't drop, people won't drop out of your game a lot, but it does happen. Here in Alaska, we can get some pretty terrible internet sometimes, so we have a lot of dropped.
Not really. I mean, I don't drop nearly as much in this as I do in like Payday.
Price, it's $24.99.
As of right now. I would say that the $25 price for this is worth it. I've played over 100 hours of this game, and about 100 of them were on my Mac. So, I mean, I wasn't even like playing it really high res or anything. Still loved playing it. Now that I'm on my PC, I'm going to start playing it a lot more. But I really do enjoy this game. So, not only is it worth it, but it also has a very high replayability in my mind. I'm rating that a 9.
Controls, I rated the controls like a 7 or an 8. That was stock controls. The stock controls are kind of stupid. Like, I is inventory, and that's like across the keyboard. The controls can be rated a 10 because you can edit them to be whatever you want, and they have, I believe they have support for controllers now, or they're working toward it, so yeah.
Okay, is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to talk about that you really liked or disliked about the game?
Oh, yeah. You can get infected in this game. And you have to either find or make antibiotics to like get yourself cured, which I think is pretty cool because like in most zombie movies, like they're trying to find the cure and you don't know what it is, but antibiotics like in this game is just like kills the virus or whatever.
Yep.
And there's a stunning system, there's a knockback system.
Let's just take this opportunity to talk about combat. I would rate combat probably a 7.
7? Yeah, so yeah, it's got some problems, but it's still fun. It still works, and I think they're doing a pretty good job so far. Not only that, but different items can be broken better with different tools. So, for example, rock can be broken with a pickaxe better than it can be broken with a saw. You know, so
items actually do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it's very realistic in that sense.
Yeah.
The thing that I liked a lot that we didn't really touch up on is there's this mechanic called wellness. Now, wellness is...
Well, that pisses me off.
Wellness can be really annoying because depending on how much you're eating, drinking, how many times you've been infected, how much damage you're getting beat down upon you, your wellness is going to go down. When your wellness is lower, that means that you have less stamina and you also have less health. It's kind of like being sick. Now, if you do really good, you're not getting hit a lot, you're eating well, you're drinking enough, you're taking good care of your character, your stamina is going to increase as well as your health caps. Now, that's really cool. I loved how they did it. And I just thought that it was really cool and just a really good addition to the game.
Yeah. You do have to eat and drink in this game. You have a stamina and a health bar. There's armor systems, there's different qualities of armor, you can craft the armor, you can find the armor. There's crafting books, you have to find certain books to be able to craft certain items, like a forge. It's like, for example, like finding a how-to book on something and then learning how to do it, and that's like the, you know.
It's the equivalent of it. It's really cool. It's really well done.
There's airdrops, actually. Sometimes a plane will come by and drop a crate for you.
That can be changed in the settings depending on how often you want them.
You can change never or like different frequencies based on days. I think you can actually go all the way down to 18 hours.
The automatic is 3 days.
Yeah, automatic is 3 days. Loot, you can change the respawn timer on the loot, whether it's 1 day, 2 day, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember. I think the smallest is 3 days. Mm-hmm. So, there's a sneaking mechanic, very, very reminiscent of Skyrim.
But at the same time, that's okay. Like,
yeah, that's fine.
It's an indie game.
It works
and
as a sneaking system.
Really
it's
well
very
done.
efficient.
Yeah, so one thing that I would really like to see them change is that there's no NPCs in the game. I would really like to see some like survivors that I could interact with, I could trade with, I could kill if I needed to. They could kill me if they were enemies or if they were friends. Either way, I think it would be a really cool game mechanic to add in along with, you know, the wellness and everything else in the game. Thank you guys for watching our review of 7 Days to Die. We'll see you guys next time on Into the Indies. Make sure to leave a comment, rate our video, and subscribe to Better Than Coffee, as well as going to check out my channel, The Tranquil Gamer, his channel, The Chaotic Gamer, subbing to both of us, and we'll see you guys next time on Into the Indies.